The film follows the evolving path of Melissa, a high school student whose heart beats strongly for cultural expressions and performances. Initially, Melissa seems profoundly connected to her surroundings and her community, sharing warm moments and savory pancakes with her circle of friends. Her existence is steeped in affection, nurtured by the loving presence of her caring mother and the sweetness of her grandmother within their shared home. One morning, noticing the time slipping away, her mother gently rouses Melissa, concerned she might be late for the school day ahead. Later, Melissa and her friends visit a male friend's residence where several men are enjoying the pool. Among them, Arnaldo approaches Melissa, inviting her to join the swimmers, clearly aiming to capture her interest. Melissa undresses and moves slowly towards the water's edge. She pretends not to know how to swim, a ploy hoping Arnaldo will notice and come to her aid. He sees her apparent struggle and swiftly moves to assist her. After leaving the pool, the pair find themselves in the garden, admiring the serene vista of the calm sea stretching before them. Arnaldo makes a promise then, assuring her he will teach her to swim properly one day soon. During their conversation, a noticeable shyness envelopes Melissa in Arnaldo's presence. He casually inquires about her age, and she softly reveals she is 15 years old. A romantic atmosphere subtly draws them closer together. Sensing her feelings, Arnaldo gently asks Melissa what it is she truly desires from him. However, after this exchange, Arnaldo walks away, and Melissa returns home, never encountering him again. That particular summer transforms unexpectedly into the most painful period Melissa has ever endured. At school, Melissa enters the classroom alongside her friend. As the teacher calls attendance, a new student arrives, immediately drawing the collective gaze of the class. Finding no other seats available, he takes the solitary spot in the empty front row. That evening, after a comforting warm bath, Melissa's grandmother tenderly combs her damp hair. Suddenly, her mother's voice calls out sharply from beyond the bathroom door. Melissa's father has phoned from a distant and unfamiliar location. During a subsequent PE class, students engage in warm-up exercises. Melissa demonstrates courage by climbing a tall wooden pole, her classmates observing with keen curiosity. Unaware, Melissa experiences a strange, unexpected physical sensation that floods her with deep confusion and embarrassment. Nearby classmates notice her reaction and begin whispering amongst themselves. As she descends, some friends tease a boy, suggesting he clearly reacted while watching her climb. Later that same day, one friend invites Melissa to a nearby bar. While there, Melissa spots Arnaldo. Silently, she wishes for his recognition, and fortunately, he smiles and acknowledges her. Without delay, he invites her back to his place. He gently touches her cheek, making flirtatious comments in a playful, suggestive tone. Arriving at his empty house, he begins to undress her and asks directly if she is still a virgin. Melissa confirms she is untouched, a virgin. Arnaldo continues, and shortly after, they become intimate. Once it concludes, Arnaldo dresses quickly and departs without another word. The painful truth emerges. Arnaldo is a hunter of virgin girls. Profoundly wounded by the man she once dreamt of, Melissa becomes deeply distressed and confides in her distant father via email. Later, Melissa accompanies her mother and grandmother to a nursing home. Heavy with sadness, Melissa bids a tearful farewell to her cherished grandmother, left behind there. She feels intense anger towards her mother for this decision. Her mother explains, however, that she is gravely concerned about the grandmother's declining health. Her persistent smoking and need for structured care prompted the difficult choice, hoping the nursing home offers better health management. At school, a teacher inquires about Melissa's homework. The new boy repeatedly glances her way, seemingly smitten. After school, Melissa and her friend relax at a cozy cafe. Her friend points out an older man who is staring relentlessly. With bold confidence, Melissa stares directly back, unfazed by his attention. The man promptly walks over, and Melissa further teases him using playful, provocative words. When Christmas arrives, Melissa's grandmother returns home to spend time with the family. She senses a distinct change in her granddaughter. Softly, she guides Melissa into her room where she quietly keeps her personal, private diary. Melissa opens the aged book and discovers pictures of her grandmother as a vibrant young woman. As her grandmother brushes her hair, she shares warm, gentle memories and personal stories from her own youth. Later, Melissa receives a message from Arnaldo asking to meet. He states he is ready to enjoy himself and have a good time with her once more. Melissa, finding it difficult to refuse such temptations, agrees. Yet, once things begin, Arnaldo suddenly steps back, allowing his friend to take his place. This unexpected switch excites Melissa further, offering her the chance to be with Arnaldo's friend. Later, she is seen alone at school, listening to music. The new boy approaches, attempting to connect, but before they can speak, her phone rings. It's Arnaldo's friend from the previous encounter. He invites her down into a basement. This time, Melissa ends up intimately involved with several different men simultaneously. She registers no care or concern. In that moment, she simply feels happy. But after that chaotic wild night, a profound loneliness and deep depression surface within her. Her father remains far away. Her mother feels emotionally distant, and her grandmother is still confined to the nursing home. Soon after, Melissa's mother finally returns home. She calls out for Melissa, but her daughter offers no reply. Searching the room, her mother discovers Melissa's diary and begins reading it silently. Meanwhile, Melissa is at a hotel, preparing to meet those uncles. Her mother, frantic with worry that something terrible has happened, searches the city desperately. Simultaneously, her grandmother's health takes a critical downturn. Her mother pauses the frantic search to visit the elderly woman briefly before resuming the hunt for Melissa. In the hotel room, Melissa waits in a new outfit for one uncle. However, when he arrives, his demeanor is rude and aggressive, behavior Melissa cannot tolerate. Panicked, she bolts out of the hotel. Later, arriving home, Melissa learns from her mother that her grandmother is unconscious in the hospital. Melissa is utterly drained, barely able to respond to her mother's questions. She collapses onto her bed, completely exhausted mentally and physically. Her mother slowly removes her shoes and gently covers her with a blanket. Then, she asks if the disturbing events detailed in Melissa's diary are truly real. Melissa remains silent. For the very first time, her mother seems genuinely invested in understanding her daughter's private world. Melissa admits she desperately wants to change her life, feeling utterly lost and acknowledging things have spiraled completely out of control. But after learning about the numerous men, her mother tosses the diary aside, then embraces her tightly. From that pivotal day forward, Melissa's life slowly begins its turn towards healing. She starts to believe she possesses the power to determine her own direction. She returns to school and begins the process of reconnecting with her old friends. One day, the new boy approaches her and shows her a book. Melissa's own face graces the cover. She is both surprised and deeply moved by the sight. From that moment, the two begin to grow closer. One night, she and her friend attend a party together. While her friend dances with someone new, Melissa drifts away from the crowd, walking towards a cliff edge. Everyone gasps as she leaps, but it reveals her playful spirit. She swims safely back to shore. Time passes, and Melissa's grandmother passes away peacefully. Later, Melissa and her mother visit her grave together in shared, respectful silence. That winter, as snow blankets the streets outside and soft music flows from the kitchen radio, Melissa sits by the window, gently holding her grandmother's diary. She now comprehends the enduring strength woven through the women who came before her, recognizing their profound sorrows, their human flaws, and their quiet, resilient strength. From the kitchen, she hears faint laughter and her mother humming an old melody from her own youth. They were not perfect, but they were undeniably her family. Melissa turns to the next blank page in the diary and allows a soft smile to form. For the first time in her existence, she no longer feels the desperate need for someone else to validate her worth. She had endured betrayal, crushing isolation, and deep shame. But now, finally, Melissa was consciously making the decision to choose herself. The camera slowly withdraws from the window view, snow drifting serenely in the cold air. A calm voiceover from Melissa gently concludes the moment. I used to believe love was something you had to chase after, something granted by others. But now, I've learned it starts right here. In the quiet act of healing, in embracing honesty, In the simple vow I whisper to myself each morning to never vanish again, to never relinquish my own presence. Thank you so much for watching this journey unfold, for witnessing these moments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if any part of this story resonated with you, if it held meaning. I'll see you in the next video we share. Until then, truly, take good care of yourself.